All right, welcome everyone. Today's session for All of Fit and Fun is yoga therapy with Jennifer Cohen. A little more about Jennifer. She is somebody who has a master's in clinical psychology from Argosy University, Orange, California, and a license in marriage and family therapy. She has been working as a therapist for over 10 years and has been working in social services in general for more than 15 years. She is also a proud graduate of 1,000 hours of highly specialized yoga therapy training through the American Vinny Yoga Institute and is a certified yoga therapist through the International Association of Yoga Therapists. Combining these two mental health treatment methodologies, as well as her Islamic values, Jennifer brings a unique and highly effective approach to treating the mind, body, and spirit with individuals and groups who are wanting to learn lasting ways to improve their mental health and grow as a person. So this is a great follow-up to our last week's session of laughter yoga. Now you have something where you're going to actually move the rest of your body, not just your little cheek muscles there. So let's welcome Jennifer. Thank you for joining us at Olive.
Yay! Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be back. I like seeing the familiar faces that I do see. Assalamu alaikum. So I'm sure at least a few of you guys have joined me for these practices before and are kind of familiar with the the rules, if you will. Rule number one is this is not meant to hurt. This is supposed to be a relaxing experience. Please always honor and respect your own personal limits and do what is comfortable and what feels safe for you. So I always encourage people, I'm going to do my best to try to offer a variety of different modifications or options for people, but never try to do something just because it looks like you want to look like what I look like. You know, I really want you to feel good in your body at the end of this. If you have any questions, let's try to save them for the end. And then if you ever need to reach me privately, you can always get that information as well. Alrighty, so I figured that in light of the fact that we are, you know, a primarily Muslim group of people and we have Eid al-Adha right around the corner, I thought that we might kind of bring some of this remembrance into our practice today, inshallah. So I am going to scooch back so you can see me a little bit better. And then we'll go ahead and get started. So I'd like everybody to come to a comfortable seated position. Ideally, you'd be seated in a chair like the one that I've got here. It's nice and flat. If you can have one without armrests, great, but it's got a nice firm bottom as opposed to like a couch or recliners that kind of rock back and forth. So like a kitchen table chair is really best for a practice like this. And then when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and start off with a nice, comfortable but erect posture. So you'll see I am not leaning back in the chair. I'm using my core muscles to hold myself up and to sit up nice and straight. And let's take a minute and let's have everyone close their eyes and bring your awareness to the fact of your breath. And whenever I teach yoga like this, I always start a practice like this with just let's bring our awareness internally. And just notice how you're breathing today. Today is a Tuesday in the middle of July. It's 11 a.m. I understand many of you have been up for quite a while now, so this is probably midday for a lot of people. And just notice how you feel. Beginning to notice how you're breathing. Where you feel your breath in your body. For example, do you feel your chest moving? Do you feel your belly move when you breathe? Can you feel your ribs moving in your back as you inhale and exhale? And really try to slowly deepen the inhale all the way down into the belly. And lengthen your exhale by exhaling nice and slowly out the nose. So we breathe in slowly through our nose. And we exhale slowly through our nose as well. This is a special time of year for us as Muslims. It's a real opportunity to reflect on the idea of submission, on the idea of having trust and faith in Allah, and having gratitude. So as we move through our practice today, we're going to keep these principles in mind. We're going to keep in mind how sometimes we don't always understand the plan. We don't always understand why things happen the way they do. But as we say in the end, Allahu Alam. So let's go ahead and begin with some really gentle movements. I'm going to ask you to bring your hands to your knees, holding on to them a little bit tightly, not too tight. And then as we inhale, we're going to arch backwards. We're going to breathe really deep. And as we exhale, we're going to arch forward, bringing our belly button back towards the chair, back towards our spine. And then inhale again, lifting the chest up towards the sky. And exhale, pulling the belly button in, rounding the back towards the back of your chair. And we'll do that a few more times. Let's inhale all the way in. Try to relax the belly down as you inhale. Push the belly out. And then exhale and pull the belly in. This really helps us to get the full range of motion of our lungs. Let's do that one more time. Inhale nice and deep, full expansion of the lungs. Chest reaches high. Heart reaches up. And exhale. Pull the belly button in, rounding the back towards the back of the chair. And just inhale and gently come up and pause. And just notice for a minute, just the real simple movement of the spine, arching and rounding the spine. Notice how that feels in your body. If you feel any increased circulation, maybe in your arms, or if it feels a little bit easier to breathe. Now from here, I would like to have you guys all place your hands over your heart. And take a moment to reflect on something in your life, nothing too challenging, but something that's been a little bit challenging. You don't fully understand why you're going through this challenge or why someone you love is going through the challenge they're facing. Just take a moment to reflect on how hard that is sometimes when we don't understand why things are going the way they are. Now on the inhale, I want you to spread the arms out wide, opening your arms up almost as an act of Allahu Alam. And then exhale and bring your hands back to your heart center as a little hug that it's okay if you're having a hard time. And then inhale again, open your arms and open your heart up to the awareness that we don't always understand. And then exhale, hands back in to the heart center, reminding yourself that it's also okay if you have a hard time with that. Continuing like this, inhale and open the arms nice and wide, spreading the fingers, And exhale and remind yourself that it's okay if you struggle with hard times. That does not mean that your faith isn't strong. And one more time, inhale, Allahu Alam. Hold the breath in for a minute and exhale, hugging your heart. And it's okay. And again, let's check in with our physical body for a moment and just notice how it felt to stretch through the arms, through our chest, through our fingers and our hands. A lot of times we get stuck with our hands on the steering wheel like this or on our cell phones. Just the simple act of breathing and moving the hands can feel so good. From here, I want you guys to try to swivel onto your chair so that you have kind of one leg on the chair and the other leg is a little bit off. And you're going to hold on to the back of the chair. Let me try to angle the camera down a little bit better so that you can see all the way down there. All right. And sometimes we really need to feel strong in the face of times that we don't understand. And so we're going to do a nice seated warrior position to help us to feel strong and to help ourselves to build our tolerance for situations that are difficult. So as we inhale, we're going to stretch that back leg back as far as you can and reach the front leg up, front arm up, excuse me. You can't fully see it, but hopefully you get the idea. And then exhale, bend the knee, bring the hand down. And then again, inhale, let's reach that leg back. Arm moves forward so we can feel a nice stretch in this whole front side of the body here. All the way down through the quad, through the front of the legs, and then exhale to come back. And then again, inhale, stretching the leg back and the arm up and try to really feel strong. Feel the power of your body in this position. And exhale to come back. And then one more time, we're going to inhale right here. Stretch the leg back and the arm over and up. And we're going to stay here and exhale. Really think about the strength that you have that has brought you as far as you have gone already. The strength in your heart, in your faith, in family, in yourself. Continuing to breathe and reflect on your own personal strength. And then exhale and come back down. Swivel yourself to face forward and just notice how you feel. You might feel a little warm. This posture is known to make your body create or feel a little bit more heat. You might feel it more, especially on the side of the body that we were stretching. I know I feel a little bit warmer even. Maybe you feel your heart beating a little bit faster. It's okay. And just coming back to the breath. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and switch sides. So we're going to swivel the other direction, hand on the back of the chair, so you're nice and stable. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, remembering that we are tapping into our strength that has carried us through all of the challenges we've faced before. So as we inhale, we're going to reach that leg back and the arm forward and up, going just as far as you can in your body. And then exhale to come back down. And then inhale, arm forward and leg back, lifting the chest if you can a little bit. There you go. And exhale to come back down. And again, inhale, leg reaches back as the arm moves forward. And exhale back down. And one more time, we're going to inhale the leg back as the arm reaches forward. We're going to stay here. And again, we're going to tap into our own strengths. Recalling times where you know you've overcome situations before that were hard. Breathe, inhale nice and deep all the way down into the belly. And exhale. And let's come out and swivel forward. And again, take a moment to pause and reflect. Just notice again if you feel any heat, if you feel your heart beating faster. And also reminding yourself of what it feels like to be strong, even in the face of obstacles. Now what we're going to do next is a nice seated forward fold, which is really good for our lower backs, which is going to help us stretch out our lower backs. And then for those of us that pray in a chair, it's also similar to the position that we come to when we're praying in our chairs. So we're going to start here. Remember, when we sit with a nice tall posture, and we're just going to, as we inhale, we're going to think of lengthening the spine, like almost like we have a little string that's lifting us from the top of our head as we inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to fold forward, bringing our chest and our bellies to our thighs. Thinking of this idea of submission. As we inhale, we come up. And then exhale again, folding forward. If you want, you can slide your hands all the way down to your ankles for a little bit of an extra stretch. And then inhale to come up, sliding the hands back up to the knees. If you slid your hands down, that could be a little bit harder depending on your back. Inhale here, and then exhale again, folding forward, remembering how when we are praying Salat, the significance behind our body movements, what it means to lower our head. And inhale to come up. And last time, pull the belly button in as you exhale, fold all the way forward. And you're either going to have your hands on your knees, or you can slide your hands all the way down to your ankles. And let your head be relaxed, let your neck be relaxed. And if you want down here, you can say a couple of alhamdulillahs in your mind. As you breathe, nice and deep inhale, feel the back rise. And then on your next inhale, looking forward, coming up with a nice flat back. And exhale. Now the next posture that I'd like to invite you guys to try is good for stretching our hips. You know, as we get older, our hips tend to get pretty tight, especially for those of us that are women. Our hips have done a lot. And so we're going to try what's a very simple posture, just sitting right here in the chair. It's a nice stretch. We're going to lift up one leg and place the ankle on the opposite knee. And you do this as much. Now, obviously, my knee and my ankle all lie flat, and that's because I've been practicing yoga for a very long time. Yours might look a little different. It may not, but it's okay. We don't force anything. What we're going to do is we're going to place one hand right here on the knee and the other hand on the ankle, wherever your knee is. We're going to inhale here, and then we're just going to exhale and shift the weight forward just until you feel a little stretch in the hip, right on the side of the body here. And then inhale to come back up. And again, exhale. Tuck the chin down, fold forward gently, just a little stretch in the hip there. And inhale to come back up. And one more time, exhale. Gentle folding forward just until you feel a stretch. And then inhale to come up. And then from here, I want you to go ahead and let that top leg come all the way down. So we're cross-legged. We're going to take the opposite hand to the knee. We're going to place the other hand on the back of the chair, just a little behind us. We're going to inhale here with our chest forward. And then as we exhale, we're going to twist and look over that back shoulder. And you might feel again another stretch in the hip. And inhale to come out. Keep it really gentle. We're not really doing much with the hand on the knee. We're going to just exhale and twist really gentle. Looking all the way over the shoulder and the back. And then inhale forward, chest forward, shoulders forward, head forward. And exhale. Pull the belly in as you twist your shoulders around and your head around. And inhale to come back to center. You can use both hands if you'd like to bring the knee down and the foot to the floor. And then let's do the other side. So we're going to pick up our other foot, place the ankle on top of the knee, and your knee will be wherever it is. It's okay. So we have one hand on the knee, the other on the ankle, and we're going to inhale right here. And then as we exhale, we're going to fold at the waist just until you a little stretch right on the side of the hip. Oof, that feels good. And inhale to come up. And again, exhale, folding forward. So many of us through the pandemic got a lot less mobile, and our hips also get very tight from sitting too much. And inhale to come up. And again, exhale, folding forward, feeling a nice little stretch in the hip. And inhaling and coming back up. And then we're going to take that top leg and we're going to let it cross all the way over. Hand on the knee, back hand on the chair, chest and head and shoulders are forward as we inhale. And then exhale to twist. And looking out over the back shoulder, so we feel a stretch in the neck too. Inhale to come forward. And exhale again to twist, pulling the belly button in. Head turns around over the shoulder. And inhale to come back forward. And exhale, twisting back. And inhale forward. And we can place our foot back on the ground. Again, we're going to take the eyes and close them and just take a moment to breathe and reflect on how that felt to just do little gentle stretches. I always find those kinds of twists to be very calming, very soothing. For some people, they don't have the same experience, but it's part of the process to notice what you feel in your body and in your mind. Now, just to get our backs nice and aligned, we're going to just exhale and fold over for just a little bit. Because anytime you do a twist, it's always safe to practice a little forward bend afterwards. So many people pull their backs out when they're twisting. And so sometimes the simplest thing we can do is just come to a nice, gentle forward fold to invite our spine to come back into alignment the best that it can. And then come on up. From here, we're going to stretch the sides of the body. So we're going to open the legs just a little bit wide. And have our feet again nice and firmly on the floor. I can't get my full self in here without having something cut out, but my feet are on the floor. So we're going to take one arm. For me right now, that's my right arm. We're going to drop it all the way down. And I'm going to open the left leg up just a little bit more so I've got a nice firm base. And for me, my elbow reaches all the way down to my thigh. Everybody's a little bit different. You just do what feels safe for you. But what we're going to do is on an inhale, we're going to take this arm up and over and stretch all the way in, all the way through this whole side of the body. And then exhale to come out. And then again, inhale and stretch that arm up and over. And the head's going to look down to the floor. So we're protecting our neck. And exhale back down. And again, inhale that arm up and over. And notice my shoulders relaxed. I'm looking down. And exhale back. And we're using the inhale. So we're going to inhale into the stretch. So we can increase the stretch in our ribs. And let's stay here for just a moment and think about how many times in our lives we have felt stretched. Stretched to tolerate something we're having a hard time with. Stretched of our time in general. And yet we come through. And inhale to come out of it this time. And relax the arm, relax the shoulder. I feel like I'm sitting a little lopsided. I don't know about you, but because we just did all this nice stretching here, now this side feels short. So let's make it even. And I'm going to take the other leg now and open it a little bit wider so I have a nice firm base. And I'm going to drop the opposite arm down. And then this time as we inhale, we're going to bring the opposite arm up and over, and the head's going to look down to the ground to protect the neck. And exhale to come back to center. And then again, inhale like you're scooping up air, up and over. And exhale back down. And again, inhale, stretching the arm out to the side, up and over. And exhale, back down. And then one more time. This time we're going to stay. So we're going to inhale up and over, feeling a nice stretch and looking down, and stay here to exhale. And you can use your arm to support yourself if you need to. A lot of times in hard situations, one of the best things we could do is remember to breathe. And so even here, this maybe is a little bit hard, and we remember to breathe. And then we're going to inhale up and come out. And again, we can bring our feet together. Take a moment, again, to notice how that felt in your body. let's start to do some standing postures. So what we're going to do is really simple in theory. It's not always so simple in practice, but it's a very important thing to practice doing, especially as we age, when we think about staying mobile and staying strong. And so that is to stand up from sitting. So we're going to do what is essentially a modified chair posture. So this is part of the yoga practices that many people do around the world. But the way we're going to do it is by starting sitting. So it's important here, again, that your feet are nice and firm on the ground. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to drop the hands down to the sides, and we're going to try to do this without the use of our hands to push up, if that is safe for you. If that is not safe and you need to give a little bit of a boost, that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, and then as we move the arms forward, we're going to shift our weight forward and then come up to standing. And then exhale and come to sitting back down, shift the weight back. Okay, so I'm going to shift the angle here a little bit so you can also see. So we're going to, again, inhale, shift the weight forward, come up to standing, and exhale. Bend the knees and come back to sitting. And again, inhale, shift the weight forward, use the arms. And exhale, bend the knees, and come back to sitting nice and gentle. And then again, inhale, shift the weight forward. And then if you want an extra challenge, this time as you exhale, stop midway, right before sitting. Keep your shoulders relaxed. And then stand up on an inhale. And then exhale, come all the way back down. Hands down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, shift the weight forward and come up to standing. And for those who want the little extra challenge, we're going to exhale, bring the hands down halfway and just hover over our seat. And then inhale to come all the way back up. And exhale to sit back down. Very good. Now, sometimes all of that can cause a little bit of compressed feeling in our lower back, especially if you're like me and you don't have a very good lower back. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to come to standing, and I'm going to re-angle a little bit. And we're going to do a supported forward bend. So you may want to stand behind your chair, wherever is comfortable. We're going to stand back a little ways. What we're going to do is we're going to inhale, bring our hands forward in preparation. And then as we exhale, we're going to bend at the waist and bring our hands to the chair. And if you can, try to see if you can bring your forehead all the way to your chair. And then inhale to come back up. And exhale, hands down. Now, if you have low blood pressure and this is making you feel dizzy, then only go down just a little bit or take 2 breaths as you inhale to come up. Okay, so we're going to do this again. We're going to inhale and prep the hands. And then as we exhale, we're going to bend the knees a little bit, but fold at the waist and bring your head down. My chair is a little low, so bringing my head down is nice. And then inhale. You can use the hands to push up. And then exhale and lower the arms. We'll do that a few more times. Let's go inhale, arms forward. And exhale, fold at the waist, a little bend in the knees. And then one more time, inhale to press up. And exhale to lower the arms. And take a moment here. I just noticed too. Look down at your feet. And notice how you're standing on your feet. A lot of us have patterns of behavior that maybe our feet twist out or in, or maybe just one foot does. I noticed I had my feet weren't aligned. So take a moment and make sure that your heels are aligned and that your feet are pointed forward. And let's do that again. So let's inhale the hands forward. We're prepping. And then we're going to exhale, a little bend in the knees and a nice forward fold. And let's stay here for just a few minutes. You can use your hands to hold yourself, or you can relax all the way into the head of the weight of your body on the head on your chair. And this should feel nice. Whichever position you choose should feel nice and relaxing. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep the knees a little bit bent. Notice my knees are not fully straight. This is to protect our lower back. And then on an inhale, we're going to press down through the hands and through the feet and come up nice and slowly and lower the arms. Very good. And take a moment, feel your feet really making contact with the ground, with your floor. Even though all of these things are happening inside of your body, your heart's beating, your organs are doing all of the things that your organs do, but we can still feel sturdy and strong in how we stand, no matter what's going on around us or inside of us. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk a little bit closer to our chair. And we're going to practice another little posture that's good for balance. Sometimes you may want to come to a wall. This is a door, but it just depends on, like, my chair is really short and I have long legs, so you just have to figure out what works best. So what we're going to do is we're going to rise up onto the toes. So we're going to start by noticing how it feels to have our heels and our toes on the ground. And then as we inhale, we're going to rise up onto the toes, and we're going to use our chair for balance. And then as we exhale, we're going to lower the heels down very slowly. That's the tricky part. And then again, inhale, rising up onto the toes. And exhale to lower the heels down very, very slowly. You can feel the work in your calves and in your ankles. For an extra challenge, we're going to inhale and rise up onto the toes and raise one arm forward. If you can raise it all the way up, great. And exhale to lower the hand down and the heels down very slowly. And let's do the other arm. Inhale, raising up onto the toes, lifting the other arm up, and exhaling the arm and the heels down very slowly. And for the ultimate challenge, we're going to do both arms if you can, rising up onto the toes, both arms coming forward and up, and exhale, lowering the heels and the arms simultaneously. You can also stay holding onto the chair, whatever is safe and appropriate for you. Let's do whichever option you prefer. One more time. Inhale, rising up onto the toes. You can raise your arms if you'd like. You can do one arm and then exhale and come back down. Very good. Very simple movements. I feel a little burning in my calves just from that nice slow movements of raising up onto the toes. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back to seated. We're winding down our yoga therapy practice. We're going to take a moment, again, just to reflect how it feels in your body. Let's do a couple little movements for our neck. So what we're going to do is just a couple little movements, really simple, but it's a nice gentle way to wind down our practice. So let's have everybody take up one arm with the elbow bent and the palm forward. We're going to inhale right here, and then exhale, turn the head away from the arm and pull the arm away from the shoulder. So we get a nice stretch here. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the head to center and the arm to the opposite shoulder, dropping the chin down. Okay? So we'll do that again. Same side. Inhale the arm back up as the head twists the opposite direction of the arm. And exhale, bring the head to center, arm to the opposite shoulder, hand to the opposite shoulder, chin tucks down. And again, inhale the arm up, head twists away from the arm, looks away from the arm, very good. And exhale, bring the head center and the hand to the opposite shoulder and tuck the chin down. And inhale again, arm up, head twists away. And exhale, hand to the opposite shoulder, and chin comes down. And stay here for just a moment. Notice how it feels. We've got our hand right here at our opposite shoulder. If you want, you can tap. It's a little technique that we use called tapping. There's a spot right under the collarbone right here. This particular spot is really known for soothing. Or you can tap with your hand, and does that remind you of anything? Like burping a baby? Something very calming about it. Remembering that in times of stress, these are all things that you can come back to at any time. If this tapping feels soothing for you, you can do this anytime you feel stressed, overwhelmed, when you find yourself in a situation that you don't understand, that it feels like Allah is asking too much from you. Just cross your hand over your chest and tap. All right, let's do the other side. So we're going to bring our hand up. And then as we inhale, we're going to look away from the hand and pull the hand back. So we get a nice stretch in the neck and the shoulder, maybe in the arm as well. And then exhale and bring that hand to the opposite shoulder, chin tucks down. And inhale again, arm comes up, head twists the opposite direction. And exhale, hand to the opposite shoulder, head comes down. And inhale, arm comes up, head twists to the opposite shoulder. And exhale, hand comes to that opposite shoulder and head comes down. And one more time, inhale, bring the arm up and head looks away from the arm. And exhale, head center, chin drops down and hand comes to the opposite shoulder. And again, while we're here, take a few moments if you want. You can tap right under the collarbone there. And tap with 2 fingers, with the whole hand. You can make a little bird beak and tap that way with your fingers. And sometimes just placing the hand over this spot can feel very soothing and grounding and supportive. Alrighty, and let's bring our hand back to our knee. And we're going to bring the hands down to the side. We're just going to do a couple of little integrative movements to bring it all back together. And then we're going to finish with, if you would like, some moments of reflection and dhikr. So let's go ahead first with the movements. We're going to inhale the arms out to the sides and all the way up. And then bring the hands down and over the face, back to the heart. And drop the hands. Inhale the arms out to the side and all the way up. And exhale, pulling the hands down over the face and back to the heart. And drop the hands. Inhale the arms all the way up. You can think Allahu Alam if you'd like. And then exhale, bringing the hands over the face, hands to the heart, thinking Alhamdulillah if you'd like. Drop the hands. Inhale the arms out and up. Allahu Alam. And exhale, hands in front of the face, over the heart. Alhamdulillah. And let's do that one more time. Inhale. Arms all the way out to the sides and up. Allahu Alam. And exhale, hands over the face, holding the heart. Alhamdulillah. Now, if you want, you can keep your hands right here. Or if you'd like, you can relax back in your chair and just have your hands resting on your thighs. We're going to take a moment to do a little bit of seated. It's called Shavasana. It's kind of the final resting posture that we do. In a traditional yoga class, you might be lying down on your back, but we're in a chair today, so our Shavasana is going to be in a chair. We're just going to take a moment to relax our muscles and relax our body. You can also take in some of the observations from the beginning of our class today and notice, how do you feel right now? How does your body feel now after our practice? If you'd like, you can bring back to memory the thing you were thinking about earlier when I asked you to recall a time where you feel like Allah asked something of you that was very hard, or if you were in a situation that you didn't understand why it was so hard. And notice, how do you feel about this situation right now after you've done this practice? Do you feel a little calmer? Do you feel stronger to face it? Maybe you feel a little bit more confident, or a deeper sense of submission and surrender to Allah, who knows best, who is the greatest of planners. And maybe you feel no different, and that's also okay. Allahu Alam. Alhamdulillah. Subhanallah. Allahu Akbar. And let's have everyone take a nice deep breath, filling your lungs completely Maybe do little half circles with your neck. So we're just going to go from shoulder to shoulder. I was taught that it's generally not good to roll the head backwards. It crunches the neck in a way that is not healthy. So we just do little half circles in the front. And then when you're ready, you can bring your head center, open your eyes, take a look at the room that you're in. Say one more, Alhamdulillah. And that concludes our practice for today.
Thank you so much.
Jennifer. It was very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Now, this is a good exercise. I know some of you might be fasting today, so
Yeah.
this works out perfectly too. It's
Yeah.
relaxing and soothing and not too intense. So thank you, Jennifer. And Jennifer will be returning back to us in August on the 10th.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so you will have yet another yoga session with her. So make sure you mark your calendars for that. Let me start my video. Any last minute thoughts for Jennifer or questions? No? Okay. Now, many of you know that Jennifer brings in extra expertise with being a mental health therapist. So that's the best part. She brings in both yoga therapy and mental health. So it's always a more cohesive and comprehensive therapy session with her. Without further ado, have a good rest of the day. Thank you again. And
Thank you,
we'll see you
Jennifer.
tomorrow. Yes, thank you, Jennifer, again.
You're very welcome. It's lovely to see you guys.
Bye-bye.
Olive Community Services is a 501c3 nonprofit organization based in Southern California that provides culturally appropriate services to seniors, their family, and the community. Through its physical and virtual interactive programs, Olive engages participants in a variety of ways that promotes health and well-being. To learn more about Olive Community Services, to get involved, or to make a donation, please visit www.olivecs.org or email info@olivecs.org. Be a change maker, and together, let's live, learn, and thrive.